What if a 1-cent coin from 1940 that looks ordinary at first glance could actually be worth much more than its 1-cent face value? Before you spend, clean, or throw away an old 1940 Lincoln wheat penny, take a close look at the date, mint mark, condition, color, and overall quality. Some 1940 Lincoln cents are common, but exceptional examples can bring surprisingly strong prices at auction. Welcome back to USAX Coins, where we explore old American coins, rare dates, mint marks, errors, varieties, and the fascinating world of collectible coin values. If you enjoy discovering the hidden stories and potential values of old coins, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and turn on the notification bell, because you never know what valuable coin might be waiting in an old collection, jar, box, or inherited coin album. Today we are taking a detailed look at the United States 1-cent coin from 1940, better known as the 1940 Lincoln wheat cent. This is one of the classic American pennies that collectors still search for today. It was produced during an important period in United States history, just before America entered World War II. The coin carries the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse features the two wheat ears that gave the series its popular name, the wheat penny. The 1940 Lincoln cent was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose famous Lincoln portrait had already been appearing on the cent since 1909. The obverse shows Lincoln facing right, with Liberty near the upper left side and the date 1940 below the portrait. The familiar motto "In God We Trust" appears above Lincoln's head. On the reverse, two wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E Pluribus Unum above. The standard 1940 Philadelphia Lincoln cent has no mint mark. That is extremely important for collectors. If you have a 1940 penny and there is no letter beneath the date, that does not automatically mean something is missing. It generally means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. PCGS records the Philadelphia issue with a mintage of 586,810,000 coins. The coin was made from a bronze composition of approximately 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighs about 3.11 grams, and measures approximately 19 millimeters in diameter. PCGS. But here is where the story gets more interesting. The 1940 date itself is not considered a major rarity in circulated condition. In fact, millions of examples survived. That means simply owning a 1940 penny does not automatically make you rich. The real difference comes from condition, mint mark, color, strike quality, varieties, and whether the coin has exceptional preservation. When you examine your 1940 Lincoln cent, start with the date. Make sure the digits are clearly visible and that the coin has not been altered. Next, inspect the area beneath the date. A 1940 with no mint mark is from Philadelphia. A small d indicates Denver, while an S indicates San Francisco. These mint marks can make a significant difference when building a complete Lincoln wheat cent collection. The 1940 D Lincoln cent was produced at the Denver Mint, with a reported mintage of 81,390,000 pieces. The 1940 S was produced at San Francisco, with 112,940,000 pieces. Both are collectible, but neither is considered extremely rare in ordinary circulated condition. PCGS. So what makes a 1940 penny valuable? The biggest factor is condition. Coin collectors and professional grading companies examine coins according to standardized grading systems. A circulated fine example will show noticeable wear from years of use. Lincoln's hair details may be softened, the wheat ears may have lost some of their original sharpness, and the surfaces may contain scratches, marks, or discoloration. For a circulated 1940 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition, you should not expect a huge price. Current reference data places ordinary examples in the range of a small premium over face value, depending on exact grade and market demand. One current guide lists a 1940 Philadelphia cent around 24 cents in fine condition, with higher values as the grade increases. USA Coin Book. That may sound disappointing if you were hoping your penny was worth thousands of dollars, but this is exactly why condition matters. The same date can have dramatically different values depending on preservation. A coin that spent decades in circulation is completely different from a coin that was protected inside an original roll or carefully stored in a collection. On a high-grade coin, collectors want sharp details, attractive surfaces, strong original color, and minimal contact marks. Copper color is another important factor. Professional grading services commonly describe Lincoln cents using designations such as brown, and red. A brown coin has lost much of its original red copper color through oxidation and age. A red-brown coin retains some original reddish coloration, while a red coin preserves a large percentage of its original mint color. This can have a major effect on high-grade examples. A beautifully preserved red 1940 Lincoln cent can be worth dramatically more than an ordinary circulated brown example. And now we reach the part that surprises many collectors. Although the 1940 Lincoln cent had a very large mintage, exceptionally high-grade examples are much harder to find. PCGS reports an auction record of $14,950 for a 1940 Philadelphia Lincoln cent graded MS-68, sold by Bowers and Marina in August 2006. PCGS. That does not mean every 1940 penny is worth $14,950. It means an extraordinarily well-preserved example at an elite professional grade achieved that price at auction. More recent auction data also shows that high-grade coins can command strong prices. Great Collections has recorded a 1940 Lincoln cent graded PCGS MS-68 red selling for more than $8,000, while PCGS auction records show other high-grade examples changing hands for substantial amounts. Great Collections. This is why collectors should never judge an old coin simply by its age. A coin being 86 years old does not automatically make it rare. Millions of 1940 cents were produced, and many survived. What can become rare is a coin surviving in an unusually high state of preservation. Now let's talk about the Denver and San Francisco versions. The 1940D had a much lower mintage than the Philadelphia issue. However, a lower mintage alone does not automatically make it extremely valuable. PCGS lists an auction record of $10,800 for a high-grade 1940D example, showing how dramatically the market can change when condition reaches an elite level. PCGS. The 1940S also has strong potential at the highest grades. PCGS lists an auction record of $9,600 for the 1940S in high grade. Great Collections has also recorded a 1940S graded MS-67 brown selling for approximately $1,744, demonstrating how unusual high-grade pieces can attract collector attention. PCGS. But remember, these are exceptional auction results. Your circulated fine 1940 penny should not be valued using the price of an MS-67 or MS-68 coin. A circulated coin has already experienced wear, and professional collectors separate these grades very carefully. If your coin is in fine condition, look for clear but moderately worn details. The wheat ears should still be visible on the reverse, Lincoln's portrait should remain recognizable, and the date should be strong. If your coin is extremely fine or about uncirculated, the potential value increases. Once a coin enters mint state, the difference can become much more significant. Another important point is that you should never clean your old Lincoln cent just because it looks dark or dirty. Cleaning can remove the natural surface and leave scratches or unnatural brightness. Collectors generally prefer original surfaces. A naturally aged brown copper coin can be much more desirable than a cleaned coin that has lost its original appearance. Also inspect the coin under good lighting. Look for unusual doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, unusual surfaces, or other minting abnormalities. However, not every strange-looking feature is a valuable error. Damage that happened after the coin left the mint can sometimes look like an error, so serious collectors often rely on professional attribution and authentication. The 1940 Lincoln cent also has proof examples. These were struck for collectors rather than ordinary circulation. PCGS records a 1940 proof mintage of only 15,872 pieces, dramatically lower than the hundreds of millions of circulation strikes. A 1940 proof graded PR65 red Cameo sold for $2,530 in a Stack's Bowers sale, and other proof examples have also realized substantial prices. PCGS. This gives us an important lesson: the exact type of 1940 cent matters. A normal Philadelphia circulation strike, a Denver issue, a San Francisco issue, and a proof coin are not all valued the same way. Now let's discuss today's market in practical terms. If you have an ordinary 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in circulated fine condition, its value is generally modest rather than spectacular. Depending on the exact mint, grade, color, eye appeal, and current buyer demand, you may be looking at a small premium over face value. A particularly nice circulated specimen can be more desirable to collectors building date sets. If the coin is extremely fine or about uncirculated, the value can move higher. If it is certified mint state and especially if it has original red color and an exceptionally high grade, the value can increase dramatically. For example, PCGS auction records show a 1940 Philadelphia cent reaching $14,950 at MS68, while high-grade Denver and San Francisco examples have also reached thousands of dollars. PCGS. So if you are searching through a collection, don't just look for an old date. Look for quality. Check the fields around Lincoln's portrait. Are they smooth or covered with scratches? Look closely at Lincoln's cheek and jaw. Examine the hair above his ear. Turn the coin over and inspect the wheat ears. Are the lines sharp? Are the letters clear? Is there original reddish color remaining? Does the coin have a strong strike? These details can determine whether your 1940 cent is simply an old penny or a premium collectible. And if your 1940 penny has a mint mark, don't ignore it. Compare the D, S, and Philadelphia versions separately. The mint mark is one of the first things a collector will check. Most importantly, remember that coin values change. Auction prices are not guarantees. A coin's actual selling price depends on grade, certification, eye appeal, buyer competition, auction venue, and market conditions. The highest auction record should never be presented as the normal value of every example. So, if you have a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in circulated fine condition sitting in an old coin box, what should you do? First, don't clean it. Second, photograph both sides clearly. Third, identify the mint mark. Fourth, compare the condition with professionally graded examples. And if the coin appears unusually sharp, attractive, or potentially rare, consider getting it examined by a reputable coin dealer or professional grading service. The fascinating thing about the 1940 Lincoln cent is that it proves an important rule of coin collecting: rarity is not always about how many coins were originally produced. Sometimes rarity is about how many survived in exceptional condition. The 1940 penny was made in enormous numbers, but truly exceptional examples are much harder to find. That is why a coin that originally carried a face value of just 1 cent could eventually sell for hundreds, thousands, or even more than $10,000 when the right combination of grade, color, preservation, and collector demand comes together. PCGS. So before you dismiss that old 1940 penny as just another 1-cent coin, take a second look. Check the date, check the mint mark, examine the surfaces, study the wheat reverse, and most importantly, look at the condition. And now I want to hear from you. Do you have a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in your collection? Does yours have no mint mark, a D, or an S? And what condition is it in, fine, very fine, extremely fine, or mint state? Tell us in the comments, because your coin might have a story that other collectors would love to hear. This is USAX Coins, bringing you more discoveries from the fascinating world of American coin collecting. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with another coin hunter, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next coin value discovery. And remember, sometimes the smallest coins can carry the biggest stories.